I was scrolling through a dozen recliner listings the other day, and every product photo showed a sleek, perfectly upholstered chair that looked like it belonged in a showroom. Then I read a handful of comments where people complained that the luxury seat was actually cramped, the lift mechanism was jerky, or the massage feature barely tingled. If you've ever bought something that looked amazing online but turned out to be a disappointment in your living room, you know how frustrating that feels. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The large power lift recliner we're looking at today is marketed as a solution for seniors or anyone who needs a little extra help getting in and out of a chair, plus the added perks of heat and massage. That promise sounds great, but the real question is whether it lives up to the hype when you actually try it out. I dug into the specs, watched a few unboxing videos, and skimmed through the handful of reviews that do exist. What I found are a few practical strengths that could make life easier, and a couple of hidden trade-offs that you'll want to know before you click Add to Cart. First off, the lift mechanism. This model uses 4 separate motors, 2 for the footrest, 2 for the backrest, which means the chair can raise the entire seat up to a comfortable standing height. In real-world use, that translates to a smoother, more controlled lift compared to single-motor designs that often feel lopsided. For a person with limited knee strength, the ability to push a button and have the chair elevate the seat just enough to swing a foot onto the floor can reduce strain dramatically. I watched a demo where the user, a 78-year-old with mild arthritis, was able to transition from a fully reclined position to sitting upright without any sudden jerks. That kind of gentle motion is a genuine benefit if you're dealing with joint pain or balance issues. The recline itself is also worth noting. The chair offers several preset angles, from a modest 90-degree upright to a full lay-flat position that's essentially a low-profile sofa. The motorized adjustment means you don't have to struggle with levers or pull a manual footrest. In a typical day, you could start with the back fully upright while you're watching TV, then press a button to tilt back for a nap, and finally lower the entire seat for a stretch before standing up. The transition is silent enough that you can use it in a shared living space without disturbing anyone. Heat and massage are the nice-to-have extras that often feel gimmicky, but on this recliner, they actually add a functional layer. The heating element covers the lumbar area and the lower back, turning on with a simple tap. In a test run, the heat reached a pleasant warmth within a minute and stayed consistent for a 15-minute session. The vibration massage runs on 3 intensity levels and targets the same lumbar region. For people who suffer from chronic lower back ache, that localized vibration can loosen muscles before you get up, which is more than just a novelty. It's also useful after a long walk or a day spent standing, giving a quick way to relax without needing a separate massage device. Now, let's talk about the seat size. The chair is advertised as extra wide, and it truly is. The cushion spans about 30 inches across, so it comfortably fits 2 average-sized adults or a single adult who likes to stretch out. The fabric feels soft yet sturdy, and the stitching holds up under the weight of an adult plus a blanket or a pet. If you have a bigger frame or would just like having space to move, this is a real advantage over the standard 22-inch wide recliners you see in most stores. The built-in cup holder on the armrest is another practical touch. It keeps a drink within reach without the risk of spills onto the upholstery. However, the chair's generous dimensions come with a cost: footprint. At roughly 40 inches wide and 38 inches deep, it can dominate a small living room or a cramped bedroom. If you're living in an apartment with tight space, you'll need to measure your intended spot carefully. The chair also requires a power outlet nearby, and the cord is about 3 feet long, which can look a bit messy if the outlet isn't directly behind the chair. Some users have reported having to use a short extension cord, which is fine but adds another element to manage. Another practical consideration is assembly. The recliner arrives in several large boxes, and while the instructions are fairly straightforward, you'll need at least 2 people to lift the frame onto the base and secure the bolts. If you're on your own or don't have a helper, you might find the process a bit daunting. The weight of the fully assembled chair is close to 150 pounds, so moving it later, say, for cleaning or rearranging furniture, isn't something you'll want to do alone. Who should buy this? The sweet spot is anyone who needs assisted sitting and standing, such as seniors, people recovering from surgery,